Leo hates the gym. He has hated it since week 3. He goes anyway. Every single Monday. Not because he wants to. Not because it helps. Because 6 months ago he paid for a full year membership. And that money is not coming back. His friend asked him last week, "Why do you keep going if you hate it that much?" Leo said, "I already paid for the whole year. I cannot just waste it." His friend said, "But you are already wasting it. You hate every second you are there." Leo did not have an answer. Because somewhere he knew his friend was right, and somewhere he also knew he would be back next Monday anyway. This is one of the most expensive mental traps Leo has ever fallen into. And the gym is just where it starts. Today we follow the money Leo keeps throwing after money he already lost. And we find out exactly why his brain will not let him stop. January 1st, Leo signed up for the gym. Full year membership. He paid up front for the discount. $800. Better value than month by month. He was going to go 3 times a week. He was going to get fit. He was motivated. He told everyone he signed up. January was good. February was okay. March he went twice. April he went once. By May Leo had not been in 3 weeks. He felt guilty every time he thought about it. The membership was paid. The months were passing. The money was disappearing into nothing. June came. Leo started going again. Not because he wanted to. Because the guilt of wasting $800 became worse than the misery of going. He was not exercising. He was guilt managing. He would sit on a machine for 40 minutes scrolling his phone just so he could tell himself he went. So the $800 felt slightly less wasted. And here is the thing. The $800 was already gone. Whether Leo went or not. Whether he sat on a machine scrolling his phone or stayed home. The money was the same. Gone. But Leo's brain could not accept that. So he kept going. Miserable. Every Monday. For 11 more months. What Leo was experiencing has a name. The sunk cost fallacy. A sunk cost is any money already spent that cannot be recovered. The fallacy is the belief that this already spent money should influence future decisions. It should not. But it does, because human brains are not designed to write off losses easily. When Leo skips the gym, his brain registers it as a loss. $800 wasted. When Leo goes to the gym, his brain registers it as partially recovering that loss. Even though the money is equally gone in both cases. The feeling of loss is reduced by going. And reducing the feeling of loss feels better than accepting it. This is why people finish terrible movies they paid for. Stay in jobs they hate because they spent years getting there. Eat food they do not want because they paid for it. Keep investing in things that are losing value because they have already invested so much. The money is gone in every case. But the brain keeps trying to rescue it by continuing. And continuing costs more money. More time. More misery. While rescuing nothing. The gym is just the most obvious example. The sunk cost fallacy costs Leo money in at least 3 major areas of his life simultaneously. Number 1. Subscriptions. Leo has a streaming service he has not opened in 4 months. He keeps it because he paid for a year up front. He will not cancel it because then the months he did not use feel wasted. So he pays for 8 more months of a service he does not use. To avoid the feeling of wasting the 4 months he already did not use. The logic makes no financial sense. The feeling makes complete emotional sense. Number 2. Bad investments. Leo bought shares in a company 6 months ago. They have dropped 40% since then. Everything he reads tells him the company has structural problems, but he cannot sell. Because selling confirms the loss. While he holds the shares, the loss feels temporary. The moment he sells, it becomes real. So Leo holds. And the shares keep falling. And the real loss grows while Leo waits for a recovery that may never come. Number 3. Finishing things he should abandon. Leo spent 3 weeks on an online course he hated from day 2. He finished it. Not because finishing helped him. Because he paid for it and quitting felt like failure. The 3 weeks cost him more than the course fee. They cost him 3 weeks of time he could have spent on something he actually wanted to learn. The sunk cost was the course fee. The real cost was the time. Here is what Leo's sunk cost decisions actually cost him beyond the original payment. Gym membership. $800 paid. Additional cost of going miserable for 11 months, the mental energy, the lost Monday mornings, the opportunity cost of time that could have gone to something he actually valued. Unquantifiable but real. Streaming service. 4 months and used at $12 a month. $48 already lost. Additional cost of keeping it 8 more months to avoid feeling that loss, $96 more. Leo spent $96 to avoid feeling bad about $48 he could not recover. He more than doubled his loss trying to psychologically reduce it. The investment. 40% down. Every week he held hoping for recovery, the real loss grew. By the time Leo finally sold, the shares had fallen 60% from his entry price. His refusal to accept the 40% loss cost him an additional 20%. Waiting to avoid a loss created a larger loss. This is the sunk cost fallacy at its most expensive. Right now, think of one thing in your life you are continuing only because you already paid for it. Not because you want to. Not because it helps you. Just because stopping would mean the money was wasted. One thing. Gym membership. Subscription. Course. Relationship. Job. Anything. Drop it in the comments. Tell Leo what your sunk cost is right now. He already knows what his was. He just could not see it until someone asked him the right question. And if this video just asked you the right question, subscribe to Mind of Leo. Because there are 12 more traps exactly like this one, and Leo is about to walk into every single one of them. Leo now uses one question to cut through every sunk cost situation. He calls it the fresh start question. If I did not already own this. If I had not already paid for this. If I was starting from zero today. Would I choose this right now? Not would I feel guilty about not choosing it. Would I actually choose it? The gym. Fresh start question. If Leo had not paid for the membership, would he sign up for it today knowing what he knows now? No. Immediately no. So he cancelled the remaining months and got a partial refund. The refund was small. The relief was enormous. And the Monday mornings that followed were his again. The streaming service. Fresh start question. Would he subscribe today? No. Cancelled. $12 a month back in his pocket. The investment. Fresh start question. Would he buy these shares today knowing what he knows? No. He sold. He took the loss. He stopped it growing. The money already lost stayed lost. But it stopped taking more with it. The fresh start question does not make the sunk cost disappear. That money is still gone. It just stops the sunk cost from taking any more. And sometimes stopping the bleeding is the most financially intelligent thing Leo has ever done. The money Leo already spent is gone. Nothing he does changes that. The only money he can actually control is the money he has not spent yet. And every time Leo asks the fresh start question, he is choosing his future money over his past feelings. That is not quitting. That is the smartest financial move he makes all week. Subscribe to Mind of Leo. Because next week Leo opens Amazon to buy one thing. Just one thing. And 40 minutes later he has spent $247 and he genuinely cannot explain how it happened. Amazon built 17 psychological traps into every product page. Leo is about to find all of them. You have already fallen for at least 3 of them today. And drop that sunk cost. What are you currently continuing only because you already paid? Leo cancelled his gym. What are you going to cancel? See you there.